In this video, we are going to look at ordinal logistic regression analysis in Stata. This is the type of analysis that you should use when you have a categorical outcome with more than two levels, so you can't use binary logistic regression. And again, the levels have a natural order in them. In other words, you have an ordinal categorical outcome. Here is our hypothetical data set that we are going to use. We have our outcome here, that is ordinal, and we have independent variables that we want to use to predict in which category of health status that someone falls. Our outcome is coded as 1 up to 5, with 1 having poor health outcome, 2 is fair, 3 is good, 4 is very good, and 5 is excellent. So it is more measured on a 5-point Likert scale. That is an ordinal outcome variable. So if we are to use that outcome in our analysis, then ordinal logistic regression analysis is the most appropriate for such a variable. To run ordinal logistic regression, simply go to statistics, ordinal outcomes, and then ordered logistic regression. In this dialog box, we specify our dependent variable, that is health status, the ordinal categorical outcome, and our independent variables where we have age, BMI, physical activity in terms of hours exercised per week, then gender as either male or female, and smoking status. Since these two, gender and smoking status, are categorical, we are going to use these 3 dots to tell Stata that this is a factor variable. We leave it as a main effect, and then we come here, specify that variable, and add to variable list. Also, smoking status, we add to variable list and click OK. You will see that for these 2 variables, there is an I dot before the variable name to show Stata that this is a categorical variable. You could as well have just typed in there I dot. Then under reporting, we have got 2 ways in which you can report this output. We have report of coefficients. We can have it selected and submit. Then our output will have coefficients, their standard errors, Z values, P values, and then population 95% confidence intervals. But also we have odds ratios that we can report. So you can select report odds ratios and then submit. So if you request for odds ratios, you see that your output will have odds ratios, their standard errors, Z values, P values, and also their 95% confidence intervals. So we are going to see how do we interpret these outputs if we requested for coefficients and when we request for the odds ratios. But what we can first appreciate is that whatever we request, the p-values are still the same. For gender, male was not statistically significant, and for smoking status, 0.027, which is the same thing even when we have odds ratio. This is non-significant at 0.682. and the p-value for smoking status is 0.27. So we shall start by interpreting the results where we have coefficients. In our model, we can see we have 180 observations, that's our sample size. Then we have the likelihood ratio chi-square test with its p-value, which is statistically significant, implying that by adding these variables into our model, they have significantly improved the model fit. Then we have the pseudo R-squared value that shows us the change in model fit that can be attributed to the variables into our model. However, we should put caution when interpreting this R-squared value, because we can't interpret it directly like the one of linear regression. Actually, that's why we are calling it here the pseudo R-squared. Down here, we have our table having the independent variables and the parameters. When we have betas in our models, then the interpretation would be slightly different from that when we have odds ratios. So betas can either be positive or negative. If the beta is negative, it is associated with a decrease in likelihood of falling into the higher categories of that outcome variable. If it is positive, it shows a higher likelihood of falling into higher levels of your outcome variable. So let us look at how to interpret this negative value for age. So age is a negative and the p-value is 0.001. So it is negative and a statistically significant variable or predictor in the model, indicating that increase in age reduces the likelihood of falling into a higher as opposed to lower category in terms of health status. In other words, older persons demonstrated a lower level of health score than younger persons. That is the numeric variable. A similar interpretation for BMI, which is negative and also statistically significant. So it is a negative and a significant predictor in the model, indicating that increase in BMI reduces the likelihood of falling into a higher as opposed to a lower category in terms of health status. In other words, people with a higher BMI demonstrated a lower level of health score than those with the lower BMI values. So let's see how to interpret a positive value here, which is also statistically significant, physical activity, which was measured in terms of hours of exercise per week. For physical activity, for every unit increase in hours of exercise per week, we expect a 0.695 increase in the log odds of being in a higher level of health status, given all the other variables in the model are held constant. We are calling this an increase because the value is positive. For categorical independent variables, still when we are reporting beta, we can look at smoking status, which is a negative predictor and statistically significant. It is a negative predictor of the probability of a case falling into a higher as opposed to a lower category of health status. Remember, we are dealing with an ordinal categorical variable with 5 levels. So what we are predicting is likelihood of belonging to the higher level of that outcome. So in other words, we can just say smokers are likely to have lower scores of health than non-smokers. Now let us look at a scenario when we are reporting odds ratios in our model. We saw that the p-values still remain the same. How about the interpretation? We shall start with a numerical independent variable like age, where we have an odds ratio of 0.965. So this is the multiplicative change in odds of falling into a higher category, i.e. that is having better health, for each unit increase in age. Therefore, from this output, we can say that for each additional year, the odds change by a factor of 0.965. It indicates that older persons demonstrated a lower level of health score than younger persons. For physical activity, which had an odds ratio of above 1 and also statistically significant, an odds ratio of 2.003, then we could just say this is the multiplicative change in the odds of falling into a higher category of having better health for each additional hour of exercise. Therefore, we can say that for each additional hour of exercise, the odds changed by a factor of 2.003. Since this number is greater than 1, this indicates that persons exercising more demonstrated higher level of health score than persons exercising less. Now let us look at how to interpret a categorical independent variable when we are reporting odds ratio. For example, smoking status with odds ratios less than 1 and a p-value which is statistically significant. So for this, we are having smokers being compared to non-smokers. Therefore, the odds ratio indicates that the odds of falling into a higher category of having better health for smokers were 0.511 times that of the odds of non-smokers. we are comparing smokers to non-smokers. Since the odds ratio is less than 1, it shows that the odds for smokers falling into a higher category or having better health is less than the odds for non-smokers. In other words, non-smokers are having higher odds of good health than the smokers. If you found this video useful, consider liking and subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss out any of our episodes. Next, we shall look at another type of regression called partial regression for count outcomes. See you in the next episode.